let's go back to this puzzling, well, I still find difficult to comprehend reaction of the intelligentsia in much of the West and indeed here in Australia. It does show and all of us are prone to confirmation bias, right? This is where you search out confirming information and discount anything that seems discordant with your fixed view. All of us do that from time to time. It makes us slow to recognise what's happening in front of our eyes. But this is in a different order, it seems to me. It comes to almost... I think the way to understand it for me is to go to Thomas Sowell and his vision of the anointed. This is a fixed vision of the world they have. It's not subject to empirical disproval, or it's not tested. It's just assumed that the world is like this. And that's the world, I think, that a lot of this current generation find themselves in. Fixed ideas, as we said, about victims and oppressors, and that will never change.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And this functions... I mean, the whole Arab-Israeli conflict functions for many in the left as a kind of source of meaning in their lives. It's more than just a matter of cool-headed analysis. It's something that sort of being on the side of liberating the Palestinians is something that just gives them a kind of existential meaning. And it shouldn't be an accident that it starts to arise very fiercely from sort of the 70s onwards, because prior to that, the object of many in the left was the Soviet Union. But as the atrocities of the Soviet Union started to become increasingly uncovered, particularly as obviously in the 60s, sort of just invading European countries with no cause whatsoever, it became fairly obvious that the Soviet Union was not the cause that they wanted to get embroiled in. And so, in a sense, they took all of that existential need for meaning, and they then just started pouring it onto the Palestinian people. And so there's a sense in which there's been a migration of the allegiance that many in the left once had to the Soviet Union, and also to other sort of communistic regimes in Asia. When those proved to be totally inhumane, they just, that sort of allegiance, that meaning migrated over to Palestine and to the Arab-Israeli conflict more generally. And so that is really what's going on.